Right, so I just thought I'd do a quick video on zeroing the RCBS M1000 scale, and I'll check a weight on it, we can use it. Okay, so if you're new to the scale, you just bought one, you want to zero it, you've got three scales. You've got the main beam scale, which is in 20 grain increments, so you've got the 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, that's all in grains. You've got the medium scale, which is 0, 5 grains, 10 grains, 15, 20 grains. And the scale at the bottom is 1 grain, represents 1 grain. So it goes from 0 to half a grain to 1 grain. Okay, so when you zero it with the pan in place. Okay, and also with this type of scale, what you need to do, I'll just lift it up out of the way a minute. I'll get the camera up. So I'm going to have to do this just holding my camera in one hand, so it'll be a little bit shaky, but you'll just have to forgive me. So the most important thing with zeroing this type of scale when you're going to use it is get it in a position where you're going to use it. And in this position here, I've already just done another video about parallax on this scale, so you do suffer from a bit of parallax when you read the scale. Okay, but the way around that is, in this other video, is you set up the camera. You could use your mobile phone, set it up directly in front of it and view the screen on your mobile, and then that will get rid of the parallax. Okay, but that's also in another video. So to zero the scale, then it does come, it says out of the box it comes pre-calibrated to 0, so you shouldn't have any problem finding the 0 on it. Let me move that one to the side a minute. Okay, so obviously you've got to move each poise to 0. So the main beam scale goes to 0. Okay, the medium one goes to 0. And this little one at the bottom goes to 0. So each poise now is reading 0. The main beam scale is reading 0. Okay, so then you go ahead, pop the gold pan on, and hopefully it should come up somewhere near the 0, which will be the center line. I'll just zero in on that. I'm sorry about the shaking around. Okay, so more or less bang on. But if it wasn't, okay, you can adjust it using that foot. And I'll just demonstrate that. So if I turn the foot, if you watch the indicator, which way is it going? Right, it's dropping down. Okay, you see that? So that's your fine adjustment. So if you zero your scale and you find it's slightly out, turn this foot to raise the body of the scale to do your final adjusting to achieve 0. Okay, and if you run out of adjustment on that foot, in the base of the scale there, the pan, see that base at the bottom? There are weights in that. Oops, sorry. In this piece here, there are weights in there, so you can undo a screw. Let me show you. Undo that screw, and in the base, you can hear them rattling around, are weights. So if you run out of adjustment here, you can adjust the weights in the pan to compensate for that, and then get your final 0. Pop that back on. Put that back on. Okay, so hopefully that's still around about the 0. I've moved it this way. Just adjust that for a bit more. Okay, so that's around about the 0. So the most important thing with these scales is try and get them at eye level, try and get rid of the parallax, and once you've zeroed it in the position that you're going to use it, leave it in that position, okay, all the time when you're using it. And before you use it, each time, just re-zero it quickly like that. Okay, all you have to do is move the poises to 0 and put the gold pan on, and then read the scale, and if it's slightly out, adjust it on the foot. Okay, just to briefly re-zero it before you start weighing charges again. Right, so what I have here is the end of a bullet, which is, as near as damn it, 44 grains in weight. Okay, so if I was going to weigh that bullet, if I wanted to weigh out 44 grains, so how would I do that on here? So the main poise, it's in 20 grain increments. So move that to 40. Okay, because into 20 grain increments. The top poise needs to go to 4 grains, 4 whole grains. Okay, can you see that? It's not quite on the 5, it's on the 4. And the bottom poise needs to remain on the 0. So that's reading 44 grains, okay? And then if I pop the little lead weight in, I'll take the pan off, put that on, and hopefully it should be somewhere near the 0. Pretty much bang on, I think. Okay, so that's how you can zero and use your RCBS M1000 scale. Alright, and don't forget, like I've said, the most important thing with this scale is get it at eye level. Try and eliminate the parallax when you're reading it, and make sure it stays where it is. Once you've leveled it up, if you've got a little shelf, this shelf was already there, so I've just stabilised the shelf using this piece of wood, leveled it up as best as I can get it and stabilise it, and it will remain there when I use it. Alright, so I hope some of you find that interesting. Okay, RCBS M1000 scale. Thanks for watching.